Welcome to the Friday Game Night Pick 'em Show with only one pick this week. Yes, we have a pick, by the way, folks. And we welcome you inside our cozy little studios to this wonderful cast of characters today. And if you notice, there's one guy that's here but not here.
Hi, Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. How you doing?
He's never looked better.
For some reason, there was an election last night, and he's covered up. So he can't make it today.
He's having to console.
Not to say anything political here. Not saying anything
That's right.
political here.
Oh, we're not.
How
Okay.
refreshing is it going to be tonight when we're watching Maction on ESPN
So
to
refreshing.
not see political ads?
So refreshing. Like, for all of you
College football without political ads.
Exactly. And for all you salespeople out there, you got yours. So it's done. It's done. And
You know who I feel bad for? Kyle in Alabama.
who?
Oh, never mind. Poor Kyle in Alabama. He's going to have to move.
Oh.
It was a political ad that just ran and ran and ran. And I mean, like, I saw it 100 times a day.
The proud Republican for Kamala.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel bad for him. I mean, you know, if he isn't already packing his bags, he's in trouble.
I got to say, you know, and obviously we're not going political here, but
No.
those political advertisements
God.
are absolutely a
I'm
work of art.
I'm just so happy that all of those are over.
I am too. And let me just say, they are a work of art because whoever is what is it? Caleb's section of them call it clipping. Is
Clipping?
it clipping when you?
Yes, that's what it's.
There it is. I mean, both candidates clipped each other.
What is Bo? That your age is showing, pal.
Well,
it is.
You know, you clipping.
When I hear that, I think of
It's
like
like,
newspaper ads where
What are
you're
you
cutting
doing?
out the
I'm
McDonald's.
peeing. I mean, you know.
That's not cutting.
Okay, granted, when I hear clipping, like my immediate thought is audio. Like, oh no, my audio's clipping.
Well, yeah, that too.
I think of Pop-Tart.
I think of grass clippings.
I do too.
Pop-Tart advertisement in the newspaper. You can get $1 off a box. That's what I think of.
That's a coupon.
Coupon clipping out the
coupon.
coupon.
A
Clipping out
coupon.
the coupons.
Hey,
Oh my God! Here
It's
we go.
really fun watching the audio levels
Why is it
go,
so hot in
"Whoa,"
here?
when you. Well, our thermostat I've discovered is not.
we need a
like,
battery.
operational.
No
Sandy,
light
we need
on
a
it.
battery.
Seth has no light on his face. By the way,
I like the dark.
you're dark.
I like the dark.
He does
Walker
like
got
the
a
dark.
haircut.
You're red
did.
faced more than usual, Seth.
I had a TV gig on Monday, a little basketball twin bill, so I had to freshen up.
You were on TV.
So did you have any makeup
I
on?
was.
Did they put your makeup
I
on
did
you?
not.
No makeup.
I did not. No,
Was that good or bad?
I mean I have a face for radio, so
Yet we're on TV right
So-
now. or
so
your
do
computer
I.
screen.
I know.
Yeah.
This is not TV. They would never let us on TV like that.
They would love us. We'd be a hit show.
I think we would be because nobody knows what we're going to say ever.
As you can tell, we have
that
we
appeals.
learned that the other week with you, Jeff. We learned that real well.
Yeah, that appeals.
And
But-
we don't know who's
did
going
I
to show
do?
up. I mean, hi, Caleb.
What did I do? I did nothing.
You don't remember what you did on live YouTube a couple weeks ago
I
when
have-
you didn't get your dark horse dog?
I don't remember that.
You cussed.
Oh my
Look
God.
at that
You said
grin.
a
He
bad
remembers. Look
word.
at the grin. He remembers.
You
He
said
was
it's
not a
dirty.
cuss
You
word.
said a bad word.
Don't worry.
That's-
said
Seth
a
is-
wordy dirt.
Don't worry. Seth has clipped that.
See. Oh, we've come back full circle. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent.
I'll be here for the next 30 minutes or so. Yeah, please tip your waitresses.
Oh gosh.
We all will be.
All right, guys. Week 12 in the books. Our season is regular season in the books. Let's talk about last week. What were any surprises to you?
Well, you know, I guess Oconee beating Jefferson in overtime.
Yeah, that's the biggest shock.
Yeah, because you know Bluff beats Oconee. Jefferson hammers Bluff. I think I kind of all thought that. Well, I'm not going to say a cakewalk, but definitely a heavy favorite. And to lose, they had a lead and then lost it in overtime.
Yep.
That I was not expecting. The other one for me was how good Buford looked against Mill Creek.
Yeah, that's what their most complete game.
That's
In
the
a
third
long
or
time.
fourth game I've seen this year. Absolutely the most complete game. They played like that in the playoffs. they're going to be extremely difficult to beat.
We talking about playoffs?
Watching these highlights, they kind of looked like the Oregon Ducks out there too, and they played like it, right? I mean, the offense was going up and down the field. Defense was flying around just like Oregon's defense does right now. I mean, this is honestly, I mean, we kind of jokingly say it about Buford every year, but there's some sense of, correctness to it. Buford is a state title contender every year. They're probably more of a legit state title contender based off of the way that they're playing football right now. We thought that they might make some noise in 7A, and they did, but they would always run into that one opponent that had whatever it was to be able to beat Buford. I don't know if anybody has anything to beat Buford right now. Carrollton, maybe.
Well,
the way that Buford's offense is playing, I think that they can score on Carrollton, and the way that their defense is playing, Jeff, I'm not so sure they can't stop the Trojans.
Well, having seen them both, I saw Carrollton play Gainesville. Gainesville was in that game. I think Gainesville kind of killed themselves more than got run over by Carrollton. Bad penalties, big plays called back, big plays given up. So I think that was more the story in that game. Buford's offense, maybe not as explosive as Gainesville, but a little more consistent right now. Defensively, I'm not sure I've seen a better unit. I could throw the Milton group out there. Carrollton's was good, but Gainesville got some big plays on them. Buford's not going to, they're not going to spread you out like Gainesville's offense. So it's a little different on how they'll attack that Carrollton defense. But Carrollton's defensive line and linebackers, they're quick and small, and Buford has these huge line. I think they can run the ball on Carrollton. If they play
and
now,
that's what I was
would pick
say,
Buford.
Jeff. Like, I don't know that the running game for Buford, yes, they may not be very as explosive as some of these other teams, but when you're able to run the ball like Buford can with that offensive line, with those heavy set running backs have some muscle in the legs, like if you've got a small front seven, good luck making tackles.
Oh yeah. I think if they played right now, I would pick Buford to win that game. I mean, Carrollton's
I don't know that I'd pick it to be close.
You're going to pick Buford to win that game because of the defense. Because that's what I would pick them for.
Look, I mean, let's be honest, though. Carrollton will probably have the best player on the field, and Juju
for
Lewis.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, he's a threat every play. You're going to have to contain that guy. If you don't contain him, no defense is going to be able to stop him if you can't contain him. So that will be the key. I mean, if Buford and Carrollton meet, can Buford's defense slow down Juju Lewis in that offense, and can the ground game get going? I think yes on both of those if I'm picking them right now. You're right. They are legit this year. I think they were considered playoff contenders the last 2 years because they're Buford, and that's not a bad thing. It's like Alabama or Georgia. I mean, they're in the mix just because they have talent. They have good coaching. So you have to consider them. They're not going to win it every year, but they're going to be there.
Walker, this might be the best year out of the last three that Buford has the best chance to get to the Benz.
But you're talking about, what would Carrollton or anybody, what is anybody in the 6A playoffs going to have to do to stop Buford? They're going to have to sell out to stop the run, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's the bread and butter of this Buford
don't
offense
sit on
that we've
Raiola.
been talking about all year.
He's gotten better.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what has improved the most from week 1 to week 10? It's been Dayton Raiola's ability to throw the football.
Yes.
So now they're balanced. And, oh, by the way, they have a running game that nobody's really stopped this year. I just don't see right now if Buford's offense does what they've been doing for the past 10 weeks and continually getting better in the passing game and still running the ball dominantly. I don't know if anybody can keep it close against the Wolves.
And, Jeff, look at the schedule, Walker. Look at the schedule that Buford has done this with. So it's not been a cakewalk. Especially non-region. You look back non-region.
Top 10 teams.
5 or 6 top 10 teams. And the improvement from week to week has been building to what happened last week.
Yes.
And now the question is, they haven't peaked yet, have they?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. We had a fun little story that we put on Friday game night about, our biggest surprises, disappointments. some teams were. We didn't really discuss Buford much in that whole thing, but we did discuss kind of to move a little bit. We did discuss Gainesville. I think all of us were in agreement that I don't know that they're a disappointment, but it's definitely a team we want to see more of. They've got 2 weeks to go into the playoffs now and get that defense healthy, work on some things. What do we see from the Rel? Are they, Walker, a title contender in 5A?
I think that's kind of a to be determined. I mean, we've seen glimpses of the Gainesville from 2 years ago that made it all the way to the state championship game. But we've also seen times where Gainesville's kind of lost their head, right? They've had opportunities to play in some big games. The big game got to them. Penalties, unsportsmanlikes, just emotions running high. It's not the even keel Red Elephant team that we've seen in the past. So I think that's where I'm kind of to be determined, because I know Gainesville has it in them. I've seen opportunities where Kareem Hewley and Jeremiah Ware and the entire offense has been able to score on everybody and score quickly and score lots of points. I've seen the defense be shut down. I don't know that I've seen 48 minutes of complimentary football yet.
Talk about a team that has yet to play their best game. I think that's one of the things, as I've examined this, I think that's going to make them one of the most dangerous teams in the playoffs in 5A. Kareem Hewley, we've talked about a lot of the quarterbacks in this area. The kid at Union County who, all of us just, here you go. And he's had to kind of grow into that position. But so was Kareem Hewley. I mean, he wasn't going to start
baptism by fire.
Absolutely. He might be one of the most improved players inside the season all year. And I think the upside on him is insane high. He's got 3 really good wide receivers. I tell you, I'm not sure that I'd want to play Gainesville.
Jeff, so you went to the Milton game.
I did.
You went to the Carrollton game. Moody game. And then you look at the Roswell game. So let's go Roswell, Milton, Carrollton.
Okay.
What, in comparison to those 3, what do they have in common?
What they all have in common, I think you kind of have to throw the Roswell game out as in comparison for this simple fact. They're missing some key pieces on defense, because I think that's one of the they gave up.
But
40.
Compare it to, because what was the final there?
48-45,
48-45.
Right.
All right. So what was the score of the Milton game?
They lost by 20. Or
how many points though did they give up?
40-something.
47. Carrollton.
40-something.
Okay, so there it is. So you look at the top. So Carrollton's
there are only
number
3
1.
losses.
Yeah.
Right, but
Carrollton's number 1, right?
Right.
Milton number 1 in 5A. Carrollton number 1 6A. Roswell ranked in the top 5 in 5A.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So I think right there is kind of a key for me. We talk about the offense. We know the offense can put up points, but when you're playing against the upper echelon opponents in a classification, and in your classification, I think it lands on the defensive side of the ball. Now, you can say, and I know you've said this, Jeff, a lot, penalties have hurt them.
Oh, huge.
When you end up the game with over 100 yards in penalties, that's huge, especially when you're giving up personal foul penalties, extra 15 yards.
On your defense, so you're shortening the field for the other team. I do believe that's
so I feel like the defense is going to be the key in the playoffs for Gainesville. The offense has proven itself against the top teams. I believe the offense has proven itself.
They scored against Carrollton.
Yeah.
They scored against Milton in the first half. They obviously scored against Roswell. They scored 45 points.
Yeah.
So I agree. I don't think the offense is the issue. I'm not even sure defense is the issue. I think Walker, like you said, untimely penalties, these unsportsmanlike that give these offensive teams who you can't give them anything. There were a couple of times in that Milton game, they had them stopped on 3rd down. They would have a penalty, keep a drive alive, and then Milton goes down and scores.
I think we can all say, though, guys, that we don't want to play Gainesville in the playoffs.
No, absolutely not. I mean, but I think the question, you mentioned Buford is legit. Is Gainesville legit? 2 of their losses inside of 5A.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they're legit. I just want to see a full 48 minutes of football played by the Red Elephants and complimentary football, right?
Yep.
Right.
The offense has played well. Roswell, perfect example. Offense plays very much so well enough to win. Defense gives up 48.
They were missing some key pieces in that
They
Roswell
were.
game.
I
think that makes a
it's
difference.
still next man up. Like you
Well, that's true.
got to have the next guy step up. What if Xavier Hewley's not, or
And
Xavier Griffin's not healthy
Right.
come next Friday? Somebody's got to step up, or the season could be over.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
Again, they scored 45 points.
No, I agree.
So
Well enough to win.
Yep.
Defense had to get one stop, just one, and they struggled to get that stop against the Hornets.
all right, so let's give some tip of the hats. You want to?
Sure.
You want to tip the hat? Let's tip the hat here. Let's tip the hat to the Chestatee War Eagles.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's also tip the hat to the Jackson County Panthers.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Those two teams, incredible seasons based on historical data.
Yes.
So congrats to those teams.
A lot of ghosts and demons for for Jackson
Yes.
County. I mean that they're not just. I mean, I think you said it in one of your in one of the things about the community. That has something I think has held Jackson County back for years. They have the right guy. I think we both agreed with the Corey Mobbs. He came in. It's not just attacking the talent issue, which they have more players than anybody else in this area right now when you look at the program. And it's not just finding the right players in the right place, but it's getting that attitude within the community that, hey, we can win.
Yep.
We can be consistent, and we can beat good teams. And that's where they're all right now. They're ready to take that next jump. They have an opportunity here in the playoffs to do that. They can make a huge statement in the first round.
I got two more tip of the hats. I'm going to tip of the hat to Flowery Branch getting into the playoffs, something we didn't expect at the beginning of the year.
Nope.
That happened for them. They are going to be the 4 seed out of 8-4A. And Lakeview Academy, who is, I'm going to call them a favorite to get the state championship game in GIAA, but they start that on Friday, so a tip of the hat to them.
On the road.
On the road, down
Yeah,
in
Walker,
Albany.
you were absolutely right about that, Walker.
Yep.
Like, how? What was GIAA thinking?
I don't know. I mean, their only loss came to Bethlehem, and now, granted, they got beat by 17 points in that game, so it wasn't particularly
Yeah,
close.
but they
when you look
lost
at
by
the final
like
score.
30-something the year before. I mean, and they
Well,
were.
that's what I was going to say.
I think
it
that
wasn't
was a
particularly close when you look at the scoreboard, but when
It
you
was a
look at how the
one-score
played
game
out-
in the fourth quarter, I believe.
But here's the thing. You know how they do those seedings, right? It's Max Preps rankings.
Interesting.
So you go to Max Preps, you look the rankings up. You need to go dig a little deeper to figure out how they get the strength of schedule, how they get the strength of whatever they're doing, and that's where Lakeview landed.
There's some teams in that region that are going to drag them down.
Yes.
I've got one more team to tip the cap
Tip it.
to.
Tip it.
LCA.
Oh, yeah. Tip of the hat.
yeah.
Region
LCA.
champs, number 1 seed in GIA, or in GAPS, excuse me. So tip of the hat to the Lightning there.
Yeah, and that's an interesting. Are there only 4 teams? I think there's only 4 teams.
There's 4 teams.
But
A really good
it
shot.
doesn't really matter. You got to go beat who you got to beat.
That's right.
And there it is.
And 9-1 on the year, like they did it in the regular season.
I'm gonna
Yes.
steal one from you.
Steal
as
it.
a tip of cap, Walker. Because
Tip
Walker,
a cap.
Walker
Tip a
brought this-
cap.
Union County,
Yeah?
Yeah,
because when
That's
they,
right. They're
when they-
surprised.
not
They're one of my
officially in
surprises.
yet, but likely to get in.
Right. When they lost Cade Dockery 1 week before the season.
Michael Perry, quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, he must be. He has to be.
Camden Kendrick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a kid to look out for.
That's a segment. That's a segment.
Now,
Quarterback
I know
whisperer.
that we're not really going down this path right now. This is more of a postseason thing once everything's kind of done. But
Right.
does Camden Kendrick kind of get at least an honorable mention if we're talking about top players in our area? Does what he did this year kind of put him in the conversation
Absolutely.
for
I would think so.
not a first team, maybe not even a second team, but a third team spot? If we're doing like all conference or all area.
I think an honorable mention would be very good. Because the way that it much like Flowery Branch, with the way that season started, the way their season started, it was not looking. I mean,
That also brings up
Well, how they finished the year and some of the wins you pointed out, Walker, were truly amazing considering where they were on opening night.
I got to say, it also brings up Coach of the Year nominees.
Oh, it does. Yeah. So who if we did Coach of the Year for Friday game night and Access WDUN, who would be some candidates?
Oh, you got to throw out Stuart Cunningham at Chester T, Jason Tester at Flowery Branch.
I would agree.
Michael Perry at Union County.
Yeah.
I'll look. I know this.
I'd
is
throw
Sean
Brian
Pender at
Appling in
North
there.
Hall.
I would
Brian
say some
Appling.
Brian
Big time calls in some close games.
Yes.
Is Brian Appling ever not in that conversation?
Guys, true. Guys, Tommy Jones over at
Yeah.
Cherokee Bluff.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
9-1,
Yeah.
ranked second in the power rankings is the Bears.
Lee Coleman over at Lakeview, 9-1 in the
So
playoffs.
basically everybody in our area.
I mean, no, seriously. And
No,
all joking aside,
there's some
if we had to
good
pick a
coaches.
Coach of the Year,
Yeah.
it would be really, really tough.
I don't know if you'd be Coach of the Year, but, we were not expecting a whole lot from Dawson County this year. And Sid Maxwell, I thought, he moved some of his personnel around mid-season, and they took off over the last half of the season.
Yeah, and they've showed
Some
improvement,
I think
definitely.
I think that's where coaching experience comes in. You're willing to make those hard choices. Look, I know that you've been starting all year, but I'm going to give this guy a shot, or we're going to move this guy here because we think we can make something happen. And they almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Almost made the playoffs.
I want to bring up one more point before we move on, Bo.
One more.
Cade Dockery, a junior this year. What do the Panthers do next year?
I'm going to tell you.
I think you move Cade Dockery back to his natural position.
At defense, where he
I
was an
agree.
all-region, he was an all-region player in a very good Region 8-2A.
It's going to be an
year.
interesting discussion between us when we get to
Next
Friday
year.
Game Night magazine about all access teams and
Wow.
first team, second team, honorable mention. Because I'll say it right now, Camden Kendrick is going to be in that conversation.
I would think.
Absolutely.
If we're taking a slight sneak peek into next year's magazine, quarterback is going to be a very hot
It's a
topic.
strong
fun.
quarterback
Hey,
class.
Oh, my God.
Who's going to be on the cover of Kickoff 2025?
Holy cow, I
I mean,
don't
that's going
know.
to be crazy.
I mean, you're going to have some guys, a couple
This will
of
be
guys.
a toughie.
Yeah, that's going to be a really interesting.
Go ahead and book the
conversation.
session there, Seth.
It's been booked, brother. Like, I gotta. I've got the people. We're ready to rock.
Look, it's setting up to be a very interesting 2025. I know we're not done
The
with
great
2024,
thing is, though,
but
Bo,
yes, what's the great thing?
we still have 6 more weeks of
That's
this
right.
season.
That's right, and hopefully we get to the bends with somebody. That's my hope.
I do.
The
My hope
football
is there.
groundhog saw
Hey,
shout
you know-
out.
you know why we wanna
Six
go
more
to-
weeks of football.
And the reason we want to get to the bins is because we won't have to go to Georgia State anymore.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Where
Calling
Where you're
game
calling-
from
where you're
Turner
calling-
Field's
yeah.
press box.
Where you're calling the game from behind home plate.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you need a telescope, not just binoculars. You need a
so
telescope
bad.
to see the field
So bad.
from there. That's the worst setup in the history
In
of
the
bad
history.
setups.
All right, guys. We need to clarify one thing in the playoff ranking system. Okay, the clarification here, of which we've been going on kind of this information since the start because of a video that was put out by the Georgia High School Association that was not abundantly clear on how they set the top 4.
Either that or they change their mind.
What is abundantly clear here is if you're working at home and you're trying to figure out the playoff rankings in Class D1, Class A D1 to Class 3A. So here's what happens. The top 2 seeds are ranked first, okay?
By power ranking.
By power rankings. The 3 and 4 seeds in the potential at-large are now thrown into the pot
together.
So we were kind of under the understanding they were going to do the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, and then the leftover spots with the at-large.
That's correct.
But the 3s, 4s, and the at-larges are thrown into the pot and are seeded based on their playoff ranking system. So Jeff and I did a little bit of math, a little bit of rankings.
That's why we were late.
Who
Our
brought
heads-
out the
Oh boy, you
engineering
guys started
calculator?
doing math.
And do what?
You guys started.
He didn't
doing
bring
math.
his
Oh,
he
boy.
didn't bring his mathing science.
No,
Didn't bring,
I
didn't bring
did.
his scientific
83?
calculator.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It actually is in the car, but I'm not going to get
Yeah,
it.
we
now.
don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. We figured it out.
So
It's in your car for self-defense purposes.
Yes. Now
He's got two of them. He's got two of them tied together like nunchucks.
Don't
Back
touch
up.
me. I have a
got a
TI 85.
Yeah, I have a calculator. Back up.
I calculate this will hurt.
That's going to equal a knot on your head. All right, let's move on here. So this is going to change in 3A. We didn't do D1. We'll go back later and take a look at that maybe. But this is in 3A, and this is if it started today, which these are going to change probably 30 more times before Sunday morning.
Because there
are some games left
That's
because of Hurricane Helene. So right now we have Cherokee Bluff as an 8 seed. They are the currently ranked second in the playoff ranking, so they're an 8 seed.
Top ranked number 2 region finisher.
That's right.
Because
we
they
have
finished
Jefferson.
second.
We have Jefferson at number 2, North Hall at number 5, Lumpkin at number 13, and Chestatee coming in at 30th. And some other seedings of interest: Oconee County. Right now, hi Warriors. Oconee County is coming in at 17th. Right now. Now, don't take those to the bank, by the way, because it could change. And it could not change. But that's where we come right now. So, some speculation about Chestatee is in the top 20. They will not be.
No.
So,
No.
Well,
there you go.
and here's where it could change, Bo, and we talked about this yesterday on the phone. Harlem's last 2 games against teams ranked 50th and 57th in the rankings as of yesterday.
They've already been.
Does that
They're good.
is that
They've
enough
won
to
the
pull them
region.
down?
They've won the region.
Yes, they've won the region,
won.
but is it enough to pull them down from 1 to 2?
Right. Well, if you look at
If
Maxwell's
that's the
ratings, you look at Maxwell's ratings, they have Jefferson at the number 1 spot.
That's correct.
Well,
So-
if that's the case, we've got an interesting potential second round matchup, because guess who the number 1 seed would play the winner of in the second round? The 16-17 matchup, which, oh, by the way, you just said Oconee County 17th.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's interesting, too, is if it started today, where was that most interesting? It's Oconee County, and no, it's not Oconee County. It's Cherokee Bluff and Monroe area.
That's first round
Like,
matchup.
if it started today.
Region foes.
So there's an interesting factor in that some of the coaches, when we did the story, said that don't like that aspect of playing your region in the first round, but
And you don't like playing the team you've already beaten once.
again, a
Right.
disclaimer to everybody that is watching and will watch this.
It could change.
It could change, so don't go spewing.
Don't say the word could.
Yeah,
It
will.
will
It will change. It will change, and so
There will be
watching
something
it.
that changes. Whether
will
it's
be.
a top
There will
seed,
be.
there's the 32 is not anywhere close to being set.
Right, and the 31st seed right now is Cedar Grove. So there you have it.
Defending state
Interesting.
champs.
Yeah. And the 2 teams that are in based on just playoff ranking because of the 2 at-large spots of Calvary Day and Aquinas.
GAC.
Yeah.
Or GAC.
No,
that's
no,
right.
GAC's way down.
GAC.
It's Aquinas.
The 2
But they finished 4th in the region,
Yeah,
so they are
the
they
2
steal
open
a spot.
spots. That's right.
That's correct.
There's
You're
2
right.
open
You're
spots.
right. My bad.
It was Gilmer and Spalding right now that get in based on just the playoff rankings. So just wanted to share that information with you and get that kind of clarified in the air if there was any clarifying that needed. So now
We
have
need Joe
clarified.
Lenardi.
We do.
That's what we.
Yeah,
that's
we
who
do.
we need.
Yeah, we do.
Things you need to know.
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
Yeah, I
Do you have one today?
don't have one. Today.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Well,
But
I know what its stat of the show can be, though, Bo.
Yes.
And I don't know if we need to take a commercial break before it, but we've got a fun little segment on the coming up.
We do have a fun little segment. It was all started by Jeff Hart a few weeks ago in Toccoa, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute.
Word up. I'm clueless, so this is going to be great.
It's going to be great. Do you
This
not?
is going to be
So,
fantastic.
so we're going to use that for the stat of the show.
okay.
We can't-
Yeah,
oh, okay.
why not?
Sure.
Well,
He's
let's
gonna
just
talk-
use.
he's
do you
gonna
have,
grade
do you
things.
have the Jeff's opening set ready to fire?
I mean,
He's-
I just did.
He's gonna grade. He's gonna grade things. That seems like a stat to me.
That
Absolutely,
does too.
sure,
Well, hit
sure.
it. Let's roll
Let's
with
roll. Let's go.
Here's some things you need to know.
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
I'm not wearing the same shirt, but I do have the same hat.
it. I could have used this as confetti. You know,
There go. Well, that's probably pretty appropriate for the bracket. We don't know.
Looking back on that, I don't know why I used a frame of like me just looming over Jeff's shoulder.
Yeah,
for,
it
like,
was
the
pretty
last
good,
frame
though.
of that. I don't know why I did that.
Where's the cup at? I haven't seen your cup in a while.
My cup?
Yeah, that you use, that you drink water out of. That has.
Oh,
Probably
it's
hasn't been-
growing mold in his
I was
office
about to say,
somewhere.
probably hasn't been cleaned in decades.
What cup are we talking about?
The blue cup that you're drinking out of in your opening.
Oh, that. Oh, it.
Oh.
It vanished.
Oh, it died.
It vanished. No, it's
Let's watch again. Watch again.
Watch again. Closely.
on.
Closely.
There we
Laughing.
go. That
Somebody
cup.
stole
This
it.
cup.
Somebody stole
And
that
there's
cup.
Seth standing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a
right.
that looked like a death stare.
All right, here we
That's
go,
what that
Jeff.
looked like.
Here we go,
You
Jeff.
had said something.
Here we go. So
Okay.
the first screen,
So we need to give a little backstory.
we will,
Okay.
we will, but the first screen
Okay.
is going to say this is how it all started. So
Okay.
Who's running this?
Me, I guess.
From where?
Here we go.
Oh,
there it is. It's the debate about vending machines. So Walker, help me out here.
hold on. It was a big hit all over North Georgia, apparently, because Caleb called me in later that day on his 5 o'clock news show for a live spot about the vending machines.
Right.
And he was telling me all of these tweets and emails and stuff.
Well, we spent 20 minutes in the sports office discussing your top 5 Little Debbie snacks.
Why?
Caleb and I did.
Why?
And Caleb
Why?
with a K.
The
Sexton over
question
here.
is why.
Yes.
Okay, when you say your, are you like discussing Jeff's favorite Little
No,
Debbie's or your own?
No, it was a discussion of top 5
I love Little
So-
Debbie.
Little Debbie
So where this all
snacks.
started.
So Walker,
Where
set
this
us up.
all started is Jeff in our Access WDUN little group text sent a picture of this vending machine, which was previously put on the screen, and said it was a terrible vending machine.
Terrible.
Said there was only like 1 or 2 things in it that he liked. I can't
That's
remember
true.
what the
That
exact
is
number was.
absolutely true.
There are so many good options in that
So-
vending machine. Can we put that vending machine back up, Seth? It can go over my face. I don't care.
And
There we
it
go.
is.
So let's talk through this here. Top row, great option in the Fritos Twist honey barbecue.
Okay, I
Fantastic.
do like those, but I couldn't read the package, and I was too short to see it.
You couldn't read the package.
And I was too short to see it.
So
So there you go.
So-
I would eat that one.
can't tell much about this. Can't tell much about the second row because of the glare. We get to the third row, and this is where it starts getting really good. Blue Doritos,
Ugh.
fantastic choice.
Y'all awful. Go ahead.
Fantastic choice.
Awful.
Oh,
Fourth row, you
Cool
got the-
Ranch, man.
Awful.
Let's go.
You got 3
Awful.
things. You got 3 things on the fourth row that are fantastic. Beef stick from Slim Jim,
Ugh,
Rice Krispie treat,
hate 'em.
bag of
Hey,
Planters peanuts.
Ding ding. Is that Oreos?
There are Oreos there. I just
And you-
saw that.
And you
Another
get like
great
6
option.
I don't like
Oreos in that
I
one
don't
pack.
like Oreos.
Snickers, number
All
1
right.
candy
I
bar in
love
the world.
Snickers.
Fifth
I
row.
love Snickers.
So fifth row, we're on the
Love
Snickers.
Snickers.
we're on the next to bottom row here.
Okay. All right.
Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups,
come on.
peanut butter M&Ms, not the peanut M&Ms, even though those are good. Peanut butter M&Ms, awesome choice. And then you've got Honey Bun on the bottom row. It is an A
Okay.
vending machine.
Now, do I get
If
to
anybody wants to
defend
argue that
myself
in the
again?
chat or in the comments,
I need
please
to
do.
I
Because
need to set this.
I'm right.
I need to set this up for you, Jeff.
Okay.
So if you look down on
I don't have
the
the
second to last row, it would be E0. E0.
What's E0?
E0. The pack of crackers that you eat in this office probably
I
more
like
than
the- all right, so-
anything in the world. All right, so Walker, let's go back up here. So
Look
D-
in the chat right now. That's a great
Yeah.
vending machine.
Yes.
Thanks, EXE1, for agreeing with Bo and I.
let's go to
Thank you, Walker,
let's
for
go to-
minding the chat.
Let's go to D5. D5 on this screen.
Which is
D5.
of
Is
which-
that the Snickers?
Yes, of which Jeff says, I
Yep.
love Snickers.
look, y'all have to let me
I love
defend it. You
no,
guys-
you're not defending yet.
You're
No.
filibustering.
No.
You're
Yes, we
filibustering.
are. Because of you went like for a long time on
I
this
did
text
not.
thread.
I did not.
This
You
vending
did.
machine
You did.
sucks. I mean, and you did go. So I can't find anything I like in this vending machine. We just found 2.
Okay. Now, here's the deal.
And he even said the Fritos that he just couldn't see because he's too short.
Yeah.
That's correct. Now, here's the thing. Most of the stuff in there, those are the
This should be
Frito.
good. This should be good. Wah, wah. This should be
I like
good.
the Fritos.
Here come the excuses.
I can't see that. No,
And go.
I love Snickers and I love chocolate, but as I've gotten older, chocolate
Okay.
makes my head rush,
And
so I
there
can't
is.
eat it.
There it is.
Okay,
So,
I
Chocolate
love
makes
it.
you get a sugar rush
We
from a
figured
I
out
do.
chocolate
this
bar?
I
segment
do
just
now.
to keep everything going on.
I
We
do.
How about all
found
those-
we have a few vending machines that we're going to get Jeff Hart's grades to. I mean, this
We
is
are.
a great segment.
Oh,
idea.
Look, I got a comment on the sugar rush to the head for Jeff on this just chocolate here. So 2 12-ounce Cokes do not give you a sugar rush.
Oddly, no.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Let's go with the first vending machine, Seth.
Let's go. We couldn't use all the ones you sent because they
I'm
were
not gonna be able
somewhat
to see these
pixelated.
things.
So
I'm
I
not gonna be
added,
able to-
I added just 2 on the screen. So
That's
here
I'm not
we-
going to be able to see them. You're going to have to show them.
all
to
right,
me.
here. Let me pull them up on my
Oh
phone
wow,
for you.
I got plenty of.
Oh, there's
choices.
3 there.
There's 3. That's right. I found another. So
let's start with the one on the left that's got like the green on the where you put your money in.
let me set
Let's
this
start
one
there.
up. Let me set this one up though first. The one on the right side is the one that Caleb sent from the hotel in Jacksonville.
That's
to
the
us.
one with the green where you put the money in.
It's the one
right?
that has the
With the
upside down
drink from-
Gatorade
The
bottle.
upside down
Yeah.
Gatorade bottle.
Oh, that's the one with the ramen on the 4th row. Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
So,
So
we're-
let's start with that one that Caleb sent.
Okay.
That's
There you go.
fine. Let's
Right,
go
here
with
we
the
go.
one with the ramen on the 4th
here
row.
we go.
What's your grade, Jeff?
Wait, he's showing me the other one.
Just scroll over. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
to use
Overall
a phone.
grade. So for the entire vending machine, is that correct?
Yes.
I've already given it an A+. I can just see it from here.
Well, I see several things in here that I would definitely eat. Absolutely.
Yep.
I would eat the Pop-Tarts. I'd eat the Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
I would eat the
Well,
Lay's
we just need a
barbecue.
grade. We don't need what you would eat.
I'd give that. I'd give that a B. A B minus.
Oh my gosh.
Too many Pepsi products.
Give a vending machine.
B minus.
Let me see that.
So
let me see that.
So
Let me see that.
there's a part of me that somewhat agrees with Jeff here, Bo. I'm not going as low as a B minus. I'm going B plus.
I've been
The
messing
drinks
with,
can't be cold.
No,
I've been messing with the picks. Which one are we talking about? I mean, not the picks,
The one
pictures.
on the right
Far
side.
right.
Ramen's on the
Far-
4th row.
Far right. Okay,
Far
far right.
The drinks can't be cold, so that brings the grade down for me. But to have ramen as an option, which I'm sure there was a microwave somewhere close by at that rest stop.
Well, you hope so.
Oh, and don't forget about the Chef Boyer Z or D.
Oh,
Yeah, the Chef Boyardee
lasagna.
that gives you a little
You know what?
sport
Just
to eat
based
it with.
on
on top.
hold on. Based on the lasagna, it gets a B. We'll jack it up a half.
Look, the
thing.
drinks are a little weird. The drinks are a little weird to be in this vending
Yeah,
machine.
that I did not get.
However, it's in a hotel. They have ice, so I'm giving this one an A.
Okay.
Okay, that changes things for
Yeah,
me. If
yeah.
this is at a hotel where I know I can get
Yeah.
hot
Was it at a
water
hotel
to
or
eat,
a rest stop? I was under the impression rest stop.
I was thinking that was at the hotel.
I don't know.
It could have been.
Let's
I
ask
don't know.
Caleb. Caleb, where was it? Okay. We
He
still
doesn't
don't know.
remember.
Okay. Also, they can't see that anymore. I changed the angle.
You changed the angle.
I zoomed in. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So just to keep the show moving along, the middle one now. Let's go. Let's just continue on the middle. So
Okay.
you got a
I'll
lot
give
of
that
bags
first
of
one
chips.
a-
I'm squinting
a
to see
B
it
plus.
now.
I've got you set on the middle one,
Okay,
Jeff.
here
So
we
don't
go.
mess it up.
So you've got a lot of bags of chips, Doritos baked. You've got some Takis in there, Sun Chips. You get into the candy toward the bottom. You've got Famous Amos chocolate chip cookies in there, I see. Interesting time here for Jeff Hart. What is that on the bottom?
I don't know.
You've got tuna fish in there. That's an interesting choice.
I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna give that one an A minus.
Let me see that.
First of all, it has
let
Doritos.
me-
Anything with an original Doritos
see that.
jacks up a
Phone,
couple
please.
letters. Hey, I'm looking at this.
Come on.
Fun fact: I can't have Doritos in my house.
What?
When my wife was pregnant,
Let me have
she
that.
developed an absolute
Phone, please.
sickness towards the smell of Doritos and maintains
Interesting.
it to this day.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
would just tell her not to go around the Doritos.
I can open a bag across the stinking
she
living
can,
room.
She
and
can go
she's
sit
like,
outside. She
Hand
would
her
go
her
sit
mask.
outside in my house.
So
Here,
the-
honey, I'm
so
eating
the bottom
Doritos.
right-hand corner. The bottom right-hand corner is where the tuna salad is. That I didn't see that the first time around, which is a very interesting choice.
That's funky.
What
Because
is that
tuna,
one?
I don't know. Tuna needs to be refrigerated.
That takes it down a few pegs.
Is that
for me.
chicken salad to the left of it? in the box,
Can you make it bigger again for me, Seth?
Chicken salad?
it gets kind of
Fuzzy?
fuzzy.
Okay.
But it does look
There you go,
like some
Walker.
other type of salad.
It's got Doritos. I like those little sun chips.
Yeah, it's
I
something.
I like
some
the.
snack something.
It's got Cheetos. I could do. It's got potato chips.
I'll give this one a B+.
I'm gonna give that one an A.
It's got some Jack Links at the bottom too, some Jack Links jerky. That brings it up to like a B+, A-.
So I rate that one higher than you guys do. Less chocolate. That's why I have more choices than that.
Okay, so
It is about the
final-
choices when it comes to these things.
Absolutely.
Final vending machine.
I could go to that vending
You've got-
machine 3 times and get something different. That is the key. That first one, the one that I showed you from Toccoa, it had like one thing I could get. That's it.
Well, we proved it had 3 things you could get.
We've also
in
proved
total.
that Jeff-
So
Jeff can complain about anything in the world.
All right, last vending machine.
Thank you.
Last
final vending machine. It's got Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew.
Is there anybody
Pepsi,
left watching us
some
at this
Red
point?
Bull in it.
I'm going A.
Um,
I'm going A.
Let me see that one.
This is an
It's got
A plus
gold-
for me.
it's
You've
got
got both
goldfish.
Doritos, Famous Amos cookies.
Goldfish.
Got Doritos again, Goldfish,
Goldfish.
Fritos.
Are the
oh,
drinks refrigerated?
Oh my
Dr.
God, okay.
Pepper.
This one gets an A plus because it's got Fritos, which is one of my favorite chips. It's got
Wait, the one at Toccoa had Fritos.
Garditas, Goldfish, Cheez-Its, Doritos. Oh my goodness! And I could do a Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
It's an A plus vending machine.
That's an A plus.
I give it
vending machine.
I give it an A.
That's an A plus vending machine. Why
Mi-
couldn't I get that one when I was up in Toccoa?
Well, you could have found something. If you got on a chair, you would have seen the Fritos.
I have to get on a chair to get my to get my snack.
All right, guys. As we wrap up here today, we do have one pick on the show. One pick.
One pick.
And this is off.
One pick.
One pick. It's Lakeview Academy at Deerfield-Windsor in the quarterfinals of the Class 3A GIAA.
How far are they having to
playoffs.
go to that?
This starts
Albany.
our playoff records.
does.
By the way, do we have the congratulatory?
Oh yeah, we need to
graphic
throw
for the regular season?
throw it up for Caleb.
Why?
There it
Congratulations,
is.
Caleb
That's the
Hutchinson.
same picture of Caleb you use for everything, Bo. It's the same picture of Caleb, and it's great.
Oh, I could have called Walker. I could have called Walker at the
Like
regular.
the sound that he's
Walker had a
iterating
good
from
week
that
last
picture is literally just nanny nanny boo boo. Like that's what that picture looks like to me.
I think that is a take in
Congratulations, Caleb.
Jacksonville. So congratulations. Give Caleb a round of applause for his first ever regular season Pick 'em championship. Good job. So now
let's start the playoff.
let's
picks,
start the playoff
because
picks.
everybody's back to 0-0.
Yep. So I didn't do an order. So who wants to go first? I'll go
Go first. I don't care.
Okay, go.
I don't think there's a better player on the field Friday night than Kiari Birch. He's led this team offensively. He's led this team defensively. The Lions being a 5 seed is very, very low. I think I agree with you, Bo. I like Lakeview to win this game, potentially pull off an upset against the top seed next week, and make it to the GIAA championship in 3 weeks' time. Give me the Lions.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You are correct on Kiari Birch. There are some players that are coming back, like Waltrip in the backfield for them, and a couple guys on defense as well. Lakeview's looking really, really good right now. It's hard to pick against Lakeview because we can go and throw out, Deerfield-Windsor's roster is double what Lakeview has. We've seen that with Lakeview already. You know, they beat George Walton.
I made that argument for George Walton, and look where it ended up for me.
And even if you want to go to Bethlehem Christian, who have more players, it was still, a 17-0
Very
loss
competitive.
But it was close.
for Lakeview, but it was very close, like very, very close in that game. So, give me the Lions in this one.
Well, I agree. There might not be a better player than Kiari Birch. However,
Here it comes.
here it comes. That's a ridiculous road trip. Stop. That's a ridiculous road trip, and
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
Ow!
Okay, just go ahead and pick Deerfield-Windsor.
I'm going to take Deerfield.
I knew
I
you
want
would.
to see.
Only because of longer.
I
We
need to
get
see.
an early game on Jeff Hartbow.
Hold on.
Yes.
I need to see Lakeview win one of these big games on the road. If this makes them mad, you're welcome. But I'm taking Deerfield against Lakeview.
Seth Chapman, who you pick?
What you got, Seth? Oh, black
Oh, he turned off his camera.
A down camera is what I got.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, we can still hear
Working
you.
on it.
And we don't need to see you, Seth. We see you plenty.
Too stinking bad.
And he's back.
Give me Lakeview. I want to see this Lakeview do it.
There
What
he
is
is.
Caleb taking? Do we know?
And do we
No,
do we
don't
let
know what
Caleb
Caleb-
Sexton pick for Caleb Hutchinson?
Yes, let's do that.
Caleb with a K has picked Lakeview for Caleb with a C.
There we go.
Outstanding.
Okay, he's going to
fill-in.
stay seated where he is, so he won't go in front
Yeah.
of camera. But
No. We have to pay him. We'd have to pay him for an appearance, so no.
Yeah, he can't talk on cam because we owe him money, right?
I don't think that's how this Otters mentorship thing works. Like, I don't. I've done it before, and I'm pretty
Where
sure
have
that's
my
not how that
appearance
works.
fees been then?
All right, guys. Well,
He
good
is a
show
minor,
today.
though.
Built
so
into
can
your
we? He
contract,
is a minor.
Walker.
Yeah.
Wasn't this built into your contract already, Walker?
I thought it was, but my agent must have let me down.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. No games Friday night, by the way, so no radio.
Well, basketball does start.
Yeah, we got some basketball games. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Gosh, you
always-
just threw me off track here.
Sorry
Jeff.
about that. Well,
Yeah.
we were leaving the show.
By
That's
the
what
way,
it was.
check our X page at Friday Game Night. On Friday night, we'll have some updates, hopefully throughout the night, of the Lakeview Deerfield-Windsor game. And coming up next week, a full schedule, playoff schedule, high school football, and a full radio schedule. TNQ will be back next Thursday as well. And the tailgate show and the scoreboard show and the full Friday Game Night cast will be with you as we wish you a good week 13 of high school football, which we have none. So enjoy your Friday watching high school basketball. For the whole crew, goodbye. Are we still live? Hey, are we still live? Is Walker still there?
Hello?
Walker, can you?
Walker?
Are we live?
Hello?
Hey, are we live?
I'm pretty sure we're
Hey,
live.
hey, what happened? What happened?